Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. Coming out of SideQuest Studios, this is the Simpsons Index, episode 84. Hello out there, I am your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill, and joining me tonight in the studio is returning guest Michael Pisciuneri.
Hello.
And here as always, except when he's not, BT Calloway.
Hello in here.
And thank you guys for joining me for The Simpsons Index, the podcast where we watch and review 3 episodes of The Simpsons at a time, but there's a catch, a twist, a thingy-mabob. Each episode must come from a different decade.
Nice. What do we watch first?
We watch an episode from the HD era. We go newest to oldest, and we just watched Season 28, Episode 22, Dogtown. That is actually a good description of the episode as well. Mm-hmm. It was Dogtown. It was first released in May of 2017, and it was directed by Stephen Dean Moore, written by J. Stewart Burns. In this episode, a weird court ruling makes sure that dogs can run Springfield now. I don't know what the fuck happened. Guys, what'd you think?
I also don't know what the fuck happened.
This felt like a Treehouse of Horror episode, actually.
Right.
Yeah, very parallel universe to what should be real. It was,
Yeah, did not feel like it suited the canon of the actual Simpsons.
No, that is a good point with the Treehouse of Horror. This is so bizarre, and the reasoning that the dogs take over Springfield is so fucking tenuous.
Yeah. My big last note on this one, you have to imagine a good eye roll where this is also lame.
Yeah, because, I mean, even these concept episodes could be cool, but much like the Futurama one where all the fucking nuclear bunnies take over or whatever it is.
What, the cats?
No, the Futurama one where, like, Bart's DNA and the bunny DNA.
Yeah, so you mean the Simpsons episode of Futurama. I thought you meant the Futurama episode of Futurama.
Oh, yeah, with the cats and the...
Yeah, that one's hilarious.
That's an excellent later series episode of Futurama, which we will cover on the Futurama Index
sometime in the future.
In the year 3018. All right, let's start off with the questionnaire, guys. For better or worse, what is a moment from this story that stood out to you? We'll start with you, BT.
All right, I'm going to see if I can find something positive to say, because it's a lot of muck of... Going to say, when Quimby's all like, this new dog law will put Springfield on the map, the other guy is, yeah, why aren't we on the map? Mm-hmm. I got a laugh out of that. They did kind of shoot it in the leg with, well, they just don't know what state we're in. It was like, yeah. I really liked it as the counter to that old expression. That'll put us on the map. I was like, yeah, why aren't we there?
Yeah. They do this thing of, countering old expressions, and they do this again later where Santa's little helper is tired and slumps through the doggy door, and Homer tries for fucking too long to get Snowball 2 to claw him in so he can say, look what the cat just dragged in.
Yeah.
I'm glad Lisa and Bart were like, they were almost like the audience. They just had this look like, really? Okay, fine.
Good.
Yeah, because you don't know what he's doing for ages either. He's just like, what are you doing to that poor cat, to that poor dog?
I thought it was because of the laws that he couldn't touch the dog.
Yeah, I thought he was trying to like set up an adorable internet photo or something.
This is why you need to make your fucking intentions clear. God damn it, Simpsons.
Actually, no, sorry, on that, I know I've already spoken, but I think we really need to talk about how this has a double introduction and how utterly confusing that was.
Oh, yeah. So they front load it with the couch gag, and then the
Simpsons through the clouds, and we were all like, oh, I guess the totally legal download we have is fucked up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, no, this is just going from the clouds into the episode when Homer's driving. It was just really, really disorienting to have the couch gag, then the titles, but the episode has actually started. It's like one or the other. Don't do both.
I know. Like, what was their attitude? Like, oh, let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like, it's actually really clever of them to do a Simpsons title sequence going into the episode.
Yeah, I'm for that. It's just, it was so confusing because it started with a couch gag. Get rid of that couch gag and you'll be fine.
I think they wanted to shock people because they were like, this episode's not going to do too well, so let's start off with a bang.
Yeah.
Just give them the couch gag straight away.
Well, yeah, it was a really long couch gag as well, wasn't it, with the Everest climbing and all that.
Yeah, I just like to imagine someone, like a producer, just kind of walks in, cigar hanging out of one mouth, he goes, guys, we're going to shake things up. Tell you what, we start with a couch gag. Then we go to Gracie saying, shh. Then, end of the episode, beginning of the episode, middle of the episode, then the title sequence. Go.
That sounds more interesting than what we actually watched.
Yeah, definitely. So how about you, Michael? What's a moment from this episode that stood out to you for better or worse?
Yeah, like with the chalkboard, the Taylor Swift reference there? 20.
Yeah.
What was it? 28 years and we love her or some
something
shit like that.
Yeah, it's like, thank you for the last 28 years, Taylor Swift. So yeah, this is season 28. So yeah, it was also the season finale. So I think they're doing a joke on they've been alive for 28 years. They must have started in the same year as Taylor Swift was born. I think they realized that was like,
yeah, I thought they were trying to say like, oh, you've been great for like 28 years, and it's like, what?
You know what? I think they're trying to gear up to have a Lisa Goes Taylor Swift episode,
like to remind her. Swift.
Lisa gets Swifty.
Yeah, a little bit of a sneak preview of a Taylor Swift episode.
Yeah, look, I can't rule that out.
Yeah,
I just like to think of this writer's room going, guys, guess what started the same year we did? Tay-Tay.
And 10 years after the Smashing Pumpkins song. So the moment from the story that stood out to me was Dr. Exposition.
Yeah, I wrote him down as Professor Expositions.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his qualifications were other than giving exposition.
He was apparently a vet who we went to twice just to explain what was going on. It's like, why?
Yeah, he does the grim warning and then a scene, and then afterwards he was like, oh, I told you so. And it's like, you told us so like a minute ago.
Yeah, well, not only that, he's telling the whole town, oh, I told you so. And Quimby's like, yeah, we should have listened to you. It's like, you didn't even talk to him. It was just the police.
Yeah, just a complete waste of Michael York, who you might know as Basil Exposition from Austin Powers.
That's who it was.
It is a complete waste of him.
And it's such a very distinct voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just get him to, like, read the good news every day? Just be like, hello, everyone. Today, some puppies frolicked happily. I feel good.
Elliot Jay O'Neill likes this. So, play count. Have you guys seen this episode before tonight?
Nah.
No.
Yes, I have seen it once, and, you know, if it wasn't for this project, I would have deleted it the fuck off my hard drive.
Yep.
The legal download.
The legal download folder that I've got.
Back to it.
So, yeah, haven't seen this that much. Do not intend on watching it again if I can avoid it. But let's talk about the wackiness of this episode, which will take up the bulk of our conversation.
Oh my, yes. Where do we even begin?
Like, one of my big problems with the whole dogs taking over town thing is the dogs were just behaving like people. And that just sort of seemed to be the majority of their jokes is dogs doing people things.
Yeah, it was less of a pack mentality. They basically just became a gang.
But wasn't it cute when the dog was riding a horse?
Off into the sunset.
What the fuck was that?
They were just like, what?
You know, like, I reckon you could take a lot of funny visuals from this, but just, yeah, as a package, as a story, it was just so bizarre.
Mm-hmm. You know what? They have 3 Planet of the Apes movies to draw from now, or like 40 if you include the old ones.
Yeah.
Just pull something from that.
Yeah.
But again, that just feels like a Treehouse of Horror then.
Yeah.
Or an episode of Rick and Morty. I don't know, both.
But if you condensed it into like a 10-minute segment rather than a whole episode, maybe you know what I mean? Like, it probably wouldn't feel as convoluted either.
We already did that with dolphins.
I know.
Yeah.
They shouldn't do it, but I'm just saying,
if you're going
to do it, at least try and make it non-canon.
Well, yeah, because that's it. Like, because you just start wondering, why are you doing this? Are you doing this just so you can have all those multitude of montage jokes, like the taquito dog, the little chihuahua, as well being the alpha, like...
Because he's small, right?
Yeah. I had a problem with, like, I thought it was Bumblebee Man's dog. Millhouse has a Lhasa Apso.
Yep, yeah. Continuity, they think that we would notice. We noticed.
We noticed. But, yeah, like I said before, the whole court case... So how does it start out? Yeah, Homer's trying to decide which to hit with his car.
Yeah, he's following his GPS, which keeps Sass talking him for some reason. They're making
that
some
was fucked.
Weird GPS jokes there. And then, yeah, he takes a turn and he can't stop for some reason, and then he's got to choose if he hits Santa's little helper or Old Gil.
Yeah.
And he hits Old Gil. And
what's weird about this start is, as well, they don't talk about Santa's little helper is like their dog for the first bit. Homer's like, oh, do I hit a dog? And not,
I was
confused. Shit, that's my dog.
Yeah, I was like, are they aware they're using the same character model for a random dog as well? Yeah, it was odd.
So it's sort of like the episode setting up this thing, like trying to boost up Old Gil as well, because, yeah, he's the one in the court case. Like, well, how do you guys think that played out?
Very, like, convoluted and just, yeah, like, it didn't really feel like Gil either.
No.
It didn't feel like his character at all.
I like the idea that he's finally got a big break in the sense he finally gets to sue someone. But that was just so played. It just wasn't played enough, and there was nothing. I don't know. He just. Yeah, it didn't feel like Gil, weirdly enough, for the very short amount of time he was on there and the very little character he has. It was just, yeah.
Yeah, and his whole, like, arc as well gets ruined anyway. With that ending.
Yeah, Marge, who, like, why did she have to be involved with this? Yeah, ends up saving the day and taking away old Gil's thunder. And the town isn't even behind Gil when he's coming to save the day like they said they'd be anyway, so...
Yeah, well, he had to stop for that egg salad sandwich that we had to hear about.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And this ruins my playlist of TV episodes that mention egg salad sandwiches. So far, it's Futurama in the Worms episode.
Yep, it's a great episode.
I would still buy every egg salad from every servo until I get those worms.
Yeah, I've helped you throw up a lot. But I mean, another weird thing on this episode, in terms of wacky, but in terms of production wacky, is how many times they use this kind of overly dramatic, kind of spooky music. Like, there's one where they're going to visit Gil in the hospital. The music is like... Like,
yeah.
What? That doesn't make sense. Why is this a thing that's happening right now?
Yeah, it's because it's not like the dogs ever are really a threat to the people.
No, Marge literally just punts one easily, and that was fine. It's
Jesus, she punts that dog.
Oh, yeah, but then immediately goes, no, it's fine, I love dogs. See, don't ride in, people.
And like, oh, I'm sorry. All is forgiven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All good.
Oh, and then Gil picks up the dog at the end, which makes you feel bad for Milhouse, because that's his fucking dog.
And they go for this, like, Twilight Zone-esque ending where, like, oh, is this Chihuahua going to start another revolution or something further down the track? We're going to get another part, a two-parter.
Dogtown 2. Springfield's gone to the dogs.
Again.
Who let the dogs out?
Oh, and what about Crazy Cat Lady's involvement? Let's get to the one person who knows how to fight dogs. Leads it to cemetery and goes, I have to leave now.
Yeah, none of that. Let's find the one person who knows how to fight dogs is the woman who throws the dog's natural prey at them.
Yeah.
It's like if someone was throwing, fortune cookies at me. It's like, stop. I mean, don't stop, but also stop. Just give me the cookies.
Yeah, would a person that, like, throws cats at people, like, as psychotic as she is, really be afraid of going into a cemetery?
No, and I appreciate she wouldn't be afraid of it, but I want, like, let's see some things where she's just pegging cats at dogs while they're coming launching. That would at least be funny. Like, one of them growls, takes a launch, just throws a cat and just lands in its mouth, and it immediately starts choking or something.
Well, yeah, because,
I don't know, something.
Well, anything like that, because they're effectively avoiding their own setup, which was... Yeah. She's going to defeat them, and then all she does is lead Bart and Lisa to a cemetery. Like, there is no point to it. It's not even worth it for the subtitle joke of, oh, I can take you no further, my friends.
Yeah.
And too many subtitle jokes like that one that you said at the end of the Revolution. Too many subtitle jokes.
Sorry, just above that, I have another bit of wacky I want to bitch about.
Yep.
So they're having this town meeting. It's like, okay, we're going to repeal all the laws that made it safe for dogs to take over this town. Oh, well. And then there's two dogs in a trench coat in the back that run out, and it's like, oh no, the dogs have seen the meeting.
Yeah.
What? Oh dear, they've infiltrated us.
It takes a special kind of show to ruin a trench coat gag.
I know, especially with dogs. It's like, and it doesn't even come to anything. If at least they'd then gone back and communicated it or something. It would have been dumb, but at least it would have been consistent. But now it just happens.
Yeah.
And there's nothing around it.
Might as well have just had them in, like, a little flower van outside with, like, this FBI tracking audio recording material. Yeah.
You could totally do that. Yeah, Federal Buck Institution or whatever.
There we go.
Like, if you're going to have dogs acting like people, like, have them operate high covert surveillance.
Yeah, I mean, why? At least it might be more entertaining. And then just the fact that nothing came of it, I was just kind of sitting, oh, okay.
Yeah, because other than that scene with Homer, we never saw the dogs being an actual threat to people. We just sort of see them taking advantage of...
Did we get a montage at all?
Well, we get a montage of, like, the dogs in the casino, and then the one stealing the meats from the thing, and then Luigi gets caught in the people catcher van.
But that's when everything is okay, and it's not when the dogs have taken over.
So, yeah, when the dogs are taking over, you get this bit with Chalmers just firing rounds out of the window inside the school and all that.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote this episode really doesn't like dogs.
J. Stewart Burns.
I did want to ask who wrote this one, because I feel like there's a more interesting story behind this episode in terms of how it was written, because I feel like J. Stewart Burns, it was maybe a child that was raised by an Amiga 64.
Yeah.
And it's just typing in, computer, what is comedy? And it's like, unexpected happenstance. But what is feeling? Does not compute. I see. I will be a comedy writer.
What is story? Error.
Pretty much. Some stuff happens, then it stops happening.
So yeah, just a quick other wacky moments. Yeah, the whole Groundskeeper Willie thing. So yeah, dogs are now people and Groundskeeper Willie is now a dog.
Yeah, it was dumb.
So yeah, we saw an episode, what to expect when Bart's expecting, when Groundskeeper Willie is being the nude model for all the kids' art class. Yeah, let that sink in, man.
Yep.
Wow.
Come, children, paint this nude Scottish man.
So yeah, they've just got an obsession with having a nude Willie.
Because they're all just trying to call back to, as nary a hound mantle in the world can outrun a greased Scotsman. But it's not the same. It's not the same, people.
But he wasn't naked in that anyway.
Yeah, I know. He was just greased.
They're forgetting the grease. That's the key component.
That's the money maker. Grease makes the money. It's also the word.
And yeah, it's just stupid. And how he gets returned to Skinner at the end to scratch. Why is any of this happening?
I have more of these. These keep going.
Yeah, other wackiness, Beach.
Okay, when Lisa and Bart are imagining what it would be like if Homer gets sent to prison, for some reason they imagine they're going to go to foster homes, even though Marge is still around.
Yeah.
And Lisa goes into the past for some reason. Her foster home is in, like, the 18th century. It's like, why? And then Bart, in his fantasy, Bart is selling his kidneys because he doesn't realize he needs both of them to live. But then the fantasy continues and he's dead. So real life Bart knows you need 2 kidneys to live, but fantasy Bart doesn't. And it's just, it's stupid.
Ay caramba.
Don't have a cow, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe they actually did that. Fucking ay caramba. They had a couple of these cutaway gag sort of style things, and it's just so off point for The Simpsons. And yeah, when they're really toothless like that and like have no internal logic and are just jumping to shit for no reason. Because yeah, Lisa's fantasy sequence, like, oh, and here's your tutor, some writer, and
yeah.
Maybe if Bart had the flashback in the past, it would have been like, at least because Bart's a bit of an idiot, like it would have made a bit more sense.
Yeah, it's like if someone's ever told him, oh, if you could live anywhere, where would you live? I'm like, I don't know, maybe dinosaur age.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'll go with my new foster parents, the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Michael, did you have any other wacky moments from this episode?
Oh boy. Like Milhouse's dad just kind of like lies down and like reveals his belly to the Chihuahua.
Yeah, just shitting on Kirk jokes. Like, it's sort of an interesting angle, I guess, in that is the thing where all the dogs are realizing, oh, we do have a cowardly human amongst us, you know, now we rule. But also, fuck this story.
Yeah.
All right, there's a lot of wackiness. We're going to keep circling that point, but just to plow right along with the questionnaire, the heart of this episode.
Continue plowing.
Oh, but Marge is like, I love dogs. After punting one further than the lard lad punted that dog that one time.
That was the heart. She loves to kick dogs.
Yep.
She cares about kicking them.
Yeah.
Yeah, be like, I love dogs. Look at the range I got on that thing.
And that's how Bart and Lisa realize that's why we love our mum, because she kicks dogs.
I'd start behaving if I was them by now.
Yeah,
like,
that's
Jesus
a good
Christ,
point.
I'm going to get punted if I misbehave.
To be entirely fair, given the size and rough weight of a Chihuahua, Marge should be playing football with a kick like that. Holy crap.
Fucking A. So, another question that we're going to plow along through. Did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Move along. Nothing to see here.
Whatever that thing was out there that I watched, that was not
Nah.
The Simpsons.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can say the show as a whole, its internal logic and its results are just so stupid, but, like, the characters themselves, at least, were behaving like themselves.
I mean, the things they were forced to say didn't fit them, but they weren't a betrayal of their characters, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, like, Homer felt a bit too dumb.
Yeah.
It was just too
There's that
stupid.
thing where Santa's little helper is eating his car cushions, so he starts eating dog food.
How did Santa's little helper even get in the car? That's what I was curious of. Did he leave the window open? That was...
Dogs rule now, man. They can play poker. They can...
Assume Marge kicked him through the window.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, there is a sophisticated way to do a good dog food joke. Like, when Homer's talking about you can eat so much dog food, your tears...
like dog food, your dog will come home, or you
Yeah.
can go find your dog. Oh, I nearly had him eating dog food.
or when Bart makes America balls for the school something, and they're made out of dog food, and Homer goes, "Ooh, America balls. That was great."
Yep.
But yeah, this was a bad dog food joke. And when he's ranting about doggy heaven, oh my God. Do you guys remember that bit at all?
No,
Oh,
I
and he
do.
has fingers, human fingers.
Yep.
How do you know
Yeah.
so much about dog heavy? Because I died for 5 minutes and went there by accident. You just get off my case. Which, in a better episode, I might have liked that back and forth a bit more. Because
Yeah, but I mean,
I do like anything where parents get backed into a corner because they get to ask so many questions about the shit they're making up.
oh yeah.
But the way it's presented here just didn't click.
Is it just me, or do the voice actors feel like, I don't know, they got this energy in this episode like they've just given up on this show. I mean, that's
yeah.
what I felt. That's why I felt like some of the jokes like would have worked in earlier
Yeah.
episodes, but here they're just very awkward.
That's
Yeah, 'cause
pretty good point.
It's not just like they're flat. They're still energetic, but it's the wrong kind, and they're not emphasizing things correctly. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean. It's off. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Marge just. I want to use a nicer word, but she just sounds haggard at this point. Like,
Yeah. We all know Julie Kavanagh's throat has got to be killing.
yeah, like she's done more work than most metal singers, you know?
Yeah. You tried doing that for 28 years.
yeah.
How old is she? Do you know?
Gotta be in her 70s by now. Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly check because now I'm curious.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of them, like when they started Simpsons, were like in their late 20s, early 30s. It's actually quite amazing. Like a lot of them have been able to keep up at all. 67, fuck. Doing the growls of a 30-year-old metalhead.
For
Fuck.
nearly half your life.
Yeah. She was actually one of the Tracy Ullman originals, like that came over from that show to The Simpsons.
Wow.
Yeah. It's sort of weird. She started out her career as like really in front of the camera, and now she avoids interviews at all costs. And
Really?
Interesting.
yeah, we didn't like how Gil felt in this episode either. That, yeah. It's sort of weird when you hinge a plot on one of these sort of B characters that are normally only there for a line or two.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
Gil, who's there just to be the eternal foible. Or the schmozzle or the schmeal?
Yeah, he's both. He's
Yeah.
definitely a Jerry.
Yeah, but just to hang an entire episode on that one guy who's good for about a scene usually doesn't work.
Well, even then, they have like, I feel like they have the right thing where there's a court case where he should be the obvious winner, but even then he's still a loser.
Yeah.
And then he's going to redeem himself when the town realizes they've set a bad precedent. Like, I kind of like all that, but none of the material was good around it.
I was just going to say, I feel like we didn't feel any sympathy for Gil, and that was
Yeah.
kind of the problem, is that even though he got hit by a car, I didn't give a shit about him for some
Yeah, I
reason.
suppose that was part of the problem. We only ever saw him trying to win the case, but never actually felt for him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
was acting like such a prick after, like, oh, I'm just going to sue you, or ka-ching.
Yeah, pretty much. The first thing he says is, can I scratch your husband? Because he's the lucky lottery ticket I've been waiting for. And it's like,
Yeah.
let's see him as a human being who needs to win
Yeah.
rather than someone who wants the money.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah, we should feel bad that his new home is going to be his sister's washing machine box, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, they just play it for laughs and they skew so heavily into this pro-dog agenda that...
And then they just milk certain parts, like when they carry Homer out of the courtroom and he runs over Gil 3 times. And
Yeah.
just keeps going. And you're like, nah.
Oh, the trampling scene. And, because I forgot my charger. Why does the town have to go with you?
Yes.
That's what you do when you're carrying someone. Why did he bring his charger to court?
Oh, they were carrying him, right. Yeah. Makes it slightly better, but not good. But yes or no, would you watch this episode again?
No.
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 Nice. All right. But BT, what would you like to change about this episode?
Most things.
Yeah.
It's nearly a teardown, complete rebuild. There's maybe some fun to be had from this if they were just having fun with it, but it just feels like dominoes, and it's about as entertaining as just watching a line of dominoes.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. How about you, Michael? Any obvious changes you can see?
Not really. I mean, like, the most obvious thing would be, as I said, like, make it a Treehouse of Horror episode. and
Sure.
condense it a bit more. Make Gil, as we said, a bit more sympathetic. Maybe explain to the audience why is it so important that, like, he's struggling and he has no money. Maybe the Simpsons took him back home or something, or they dropped him off and they felt guilty because he had nothing.
I'll tell you what, because there's a scene where Quimby fires the dog catcher because under these new laws, make Gil the dog catcher. So he gets shut on again. He loses the case and then he loses his job. And then when he has a redemption arc, he can come back and say, so you do need me after all. There's your freaking arc.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's parts of me that think that this isn't a total teardown. There's things that can be salvaged. I like the idea that the dogs are taking over and seeing them doing people things is like a fun animation thing, but I actually really would have liked to see them play a bit more with like the more charming aspects of dogs getting annoying. Like,
Constant fetch.
Constant fetch, yeah. Dogs, you can't walk outside without 5 dogs dropping a tennis ball at your foot.
Poop everywhere. And be like, yeah, make it like illegal to stop the game of fetch first. Because that's how pro-dog they are. It's like, no, I have to get to it. Oh, fine. No, you have to drop it first. If he walks away with it, you have to keep playing? All right.
And have these things where all the businesses are now required to have a bowl of bickies and water out for the dogs at all times, and then, like, the dogs get dependent on it, and then they get rabid because they're deprived of food or something.
I just thought, like, of a good idea, like, what we were saying about them shitting everywhere, right? Like, if they shit in the worst places, like, in the middle of the church, and, like, the priest and that, they can't clean it up.
So they have to walk around it.
Yeah, so they just go through sermons with the shit, like, in the middle of the church.
Yeah. Or maybe they're all eating only dog biscuits, and there's like they're on a sugar high, and that's why they're extra feral or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming dog biscuits have sugar in them. I don't know.
I'm kind of liking your shit town idea, though.
Shit down.
Gotta live.
Shit down.
Gil can clean the shit after, and that can be his redemption.
That's right. He's the shit cleaner guy.
The town poop scooper.
Yeah.
So that way he's still pathetic, but also important.
Yes, exactly.
Because I think you need to also explain why there's this amount of dogs that, like, I have a scene where dogs from neighbouring towns catch wind on the midnight bark or whatever it is from 101 Dalmatians. That Springfield is the new hotspot for dogs, so dogs from other towns are coming over.
Yeah.
And then that could be a conflict where, residents of Shelby are like, hey, you're stealing our dogs. And
No, they have people come around and like drop them off, and then they don't want to leave, and the people leave and leave the dogs, and you get more and more dogs.
And with more dogs, more shit.
Yeah. Or have, like, the cats get jealous that, like, the laws are serving them, but the cats still have no rights or something. I don't know.
Something else.
Something. Anything but this.
Anything but this. Guest stars, so aforementioned Michael York, who did what he could, I will say. And Kevin Michael Richardson was playing the Simpson lawyer at the start, and that was just a nothing appearance. And then he was this news opinion guy.
Yeah, whose animation was really weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but he just looks odd.
You guys seen This Is America by Childish Gambino?
I have.
Yes.
Kind of reminded me of the opening few seconds of that.
Wow.
No one got shot in the head.
No, but you know how he's doing all those faces that are meant to be visual representation of old caricatures? I'm just saying, The Simpsons animated a black man differently than they animate all their other characters.
Well, it felt like it was a caricature of something I was supposed to know, but I don't know it. I don't know. Maybe there's a person out there that's like that on a guest show. I just don't know what they're referencing, if they're referencing something.
But yeah, like when they did Aslan in the
it's that
Surfsons
same
episode.
kind of weird, like, overly curved animation. I don't know how to explain it. It's very, like, every line is very soft. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not an animator, but something a little weird about it.
But yeah, I'm like saying bad move from them. Like, it looks bad. I don't know if that was their intention, but it looks bad.
I'm going to assume this is a person that does go on a lot of news, and that's what they're parodying, and I just have no idea who that is.
Yeah, but that it looked removed from Simpsons style
is
is
always
where
bad, no
I
matter
say
what.
that's where the offense comes. So, musical moments.
We had Lisa B flat to C sharp to...
Fucking hell.
Sorry, that was
I'm
also
a musician and I hated that joke.
Yeah, that was also one of my Jordan Taylor colours, because she doesn't mention the note duration, just what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking crotchet, quaver, full note, semi-brief.
So what'd she say it was? It was B
C,
flat.
just B flat to C sharp, just the full tone step.
I think that was her melody.
They did that joke in the movie, and it was like, okay, we get it.
Didn't you at least write it down or something?
Yeah, she wrote it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of liked that because, they're on the other side of the dome and he's playing the guitar. She can't hear it and he writes it. She's a musician. She can, that's fine joke, but this, lame.
Yeah.
Oh, and Queen at the end.
Ah, yeah, best friend. Yeah. Way to take a song written about the keyboardist's wife and turn it into something about, dogs. I get
yeah.
it, but still.
Try and sugarcoat a shitty episode with a really good song.
Actually, I think it was the bass player.
It was one of the two members of Queen that don't matter. No, I kid. Fucking.
You know Queen listen to this. God damn it, man. As does the Queen. Big fan.
No,
Your Majesty.
No, I'm being mean. Yeah, all members of Queen are amazing musicians, and I am actually looking forward to Bohemian Rhapsody coming in theaters this October.
What the hell is that? Like a
I didn't
musical?
Oh yeah, Queen biopic.
film.
Oh, right. Who's
okay.
playing?
Mr. Robot, the kid.
Okay, wow.
Emil Rami
All right.
Malik.
Sorry, my problem is with Mr. Robot, all I know about that show is it's about pale people wearing hoods. Like, there's no other promo material other than the main guy wearing a hoodie. And it's like, what is this show about? What do you do? I have no idea.
Well, I'm hooked.
Yeah, I was like,
Rewrite the encryptions. I'll get my hoodie.
yeah, would you even know that based on the promo material? I know it's got something to do with hacking, but it's just hoodies. Like, okay.
Yeah.
You could have told me that was a clothing brand of hoodies. I would have believed it. Bad advertising, Mr. Robot. Bad advertising.
Sponsored by hoodies.
So yeah, that's the last thing I'll say about the music moments is that it's a really obvious music cue, and there's plenty of dog songs out there. You could have picked any, and nah.
Who let the dogs out? There's a better one.
Who?
And they never find out, actually. The crime has gone unsolved.
Security guard. All along.
Michael, do you have any other notes?
It was interesting that they didn't really explain how Santa's little helper got to the alleyway. But, I mean, that's not really... That's just blah. That's just random.
Well, no, that's tying into what we were saying is that you don't actually have a sense that this is Santa's little helper at the start because they talk about him so removed. Like, Homer doesn't say, my dog. Until the courtroom. And yeah, so no, totally valid.
I noticed the Simpsons tapped out app on Homer's phone.
Yeah, nice little bit of meta thing going on there. You know, actually, I think, oh my God, the character that I said was Captain Exposition was played by the guy who played Basil Exposition. How did that only just click? This is something that we found in another episode where around this time where Tapped Out was really popular, it seemed like the Simpsons creators were making new characters in the show just to have in the app because they'd already sort of gotten all the characters they had possible. It's like, oh shit, we need to have some new ones so people keep buying the donuts to buy them little JPEGs. I say that, yeah, I was one of those people. Anyway, BT, do you have any other notes?
I have another quick Jonathan Corner.
Jonathan Corner!
Where the court sketch artist uses the same piece of chalk to draw both the colouring in and the black border outline. I mean, what are we supposed to believe? This is some kind of magical piece of chalk?
Yeah, because, like, not only that, he's, like, using it to draw two-tone things at once without full outlines and shading and everything.
Ridiculous. I kind of like the line of when Wiggum's all in the dog-proof suit and Lou's like, why don't I get one? It's like, because I smell like lamb, Lou.
Yeah.
I like because they didn't hang on it too long. Like, I eat a lot of lamb. And so I just had him exclaim, I smell like lamb, and moved on.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good point because of all the Wiggum and Lou moments where they're doing the petty relationship routine. They sort of drag on so long.
Yeah, and this was a quick pass, so that's good.
Yeah.
They just had to go for one last lame joke where all the hounds get returned to Mr. Burns, and he's like, oh, thank God you're back. I had to release the June bugs. Then one flies in his ear and his skull glows, and it's like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And I think that puts me out of newts. No, wait, hang on a second.
Hang on.
To show you how lame this episode is, at one point, Homer wields a dog like a gun. Like, wields a sausage dog. And I should have enjoyed that. It was kind of funny animation, but I was like, so annoyed. I literally wrote down, I should like this. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like that sequence where Homer was getting surrounded by the dogs. I kind of liked when he tried to start the parking meter as if it was his car.
Yeah, no, I didn't like the scene, but I should have liked the visual gag of trying to wield a sausage dog like a weapon, but I did not.
Yeah, but what about that scene where he's getting attacked by the dogs? It just ties into the whole they weren't much of a threat thing.
Yeah, it comes immediately after one of my notes that just says, exposition equals fuck, I don't care. So
how many years were in that?
That was 5. It's either 0 or 5.
Are you ready?
Are you ready for rapid notes?
That's actually a good intro. I'll use that.
You're welcome.
Homer mentions the choice between hitting Gil or the dog, a Snoopy's choice. Kids, put on your worried looks. Oh, and what was the fucking Maggie thing?
Maggie, I need you to look like you do when you think your mother and me leave the room and you don't know if we're coming back. Where am I? Where am I? Oh no, I've actually lost. Where am I?
Where am I? And it was followed up by another joke that was so similar where the lawyer's like, he wants everything you own, and Homer's just like, oh no, but that's everything I own. I'm like, oh, that's so good. That's so funny.
Yeah, and just done in that over-exaggerated Homer.
Yeah.
It's too dumb.
That's the notation of that one. The whole routine with the daughters, look in my daughter's eyes, and then, oh, don't you have a son as well? And Bart coming on the nurse's outfit and the syringes. Like, why is any of this happening?
Yeah.
The court stenographer repeating the shitty stuff they just said. Hated that.
In the same Cockney accent.
Yeah.
Because that's what stenographers do.
Oh, yeah. Bart putting on his most sympathetic Cockney accent.
Yeah, because who doesn't love a little old Cockney, eh?
It makes him more sympathetic. It does.
Take a butcher's hook at my 9-iron. I don't know, Cockney. Fuck off. It's a stupid thing.
You're doing it wrong.
Hey, that's our accent. I'm a 8th British. I can say that.
Doesn't that conflict with your 5th Irish?
They're always having an internal struggle. It's very violent. Involves a lot of alcohol. My liver is destroyed. Homer fake Wang paint color? What note was this?
Yeah, he's like, oh, Santa's little helper, I'm so glad I didn't run you over and then have to bury you in the backyard and get a different dog and paint you the right color and then realize you're a female dog and add an extra wang for how many years dogs live.
So, yeah, we're talking a bit more about Homer over-explaining, overdoing, overstepping, and that it happens multiple times in the one episode. It's so frustrating. I liked Santa's little helper's file photo, though, where they blurred out him licking himself. Yeah, I hated all of Quimby's involvement in this episode, except when he went, arf.
Trying to win over the dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of his Ep84 feliner, you know? Oh, I knew there was another instance where they break down an old saying where Homer, in that scene where he's getting accosted by the dogs, he goes, oh, their bark is worse than their bite. And then they start barking.
Oh, your bark is so horrible. Yeah, I thought he was going to get bitten then. And I was ready to roll my eyes at that. And then it was worse.
Yeah. Fuck.
Like, I don't know what to do with my eyes now, so I just bounced them up and down for a while.
As soon as he said it, I knew exactly what they were going to do. I was like,
oh.
Yeah.
We see Poochie in the background at one stage. He's just like flailing nunchucks around. Did you guys catch that?
Poochie is dead.
Yes. He died on his way back to his home planet.
Everybody knows that. This isn't some like Death of Superman shit where he's going to be back.
And my final note is a bit of a non-note. Flanders gets his dog Boz back. Flanders actually does get a dog named Boz in a recent episode, and there's a story where Homer falls in love with it.
Okay. So they kept that continuity, but not the continuity of which dog Milhouse owns.
Yeah. Yeah, where was his Lusser Upser in all of this?
Don't know.
It's time to rank this thing! On the Simpsons Index, we rank using our 6-point scale, which starts down the bottom at failure. Maybe if the episode was just meh, you give it a participant. But for the good rankings, you got good, bronze, great, silver, excellent, gold. But for the best, of the very best, the ones that are barkingly good, you give a cubic zirconia. I'm going to go first. Let me show you how it's done. I'm giving this one a failure. There's just so little to latch onto, and you know, a high-concept episode can be fun, but this was not fun. It made you ask too many questions all the fucking time, and yeah, fuck it. BT, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm also on a dead set failure. There was just so little to... If there were a couple of jokes that worked, it could have pulled itself up to a participant, but just so few of them land that it's just boring and stupid, and you don't know... Like you said, we kind of came into this, and we're like, what did we just watch?
Yeah.
What was that?
Was it The Simpsons? I'm not sure.
Oh, no.
You know, was it just a yellow drawing on the side of a train as it sped by? I don't know.
All right, Michael, what do you reckon?
Oh, yeah, this is a dead set failure from me. Like, when people, they ask me, you know, are the new episodes really that bad? This is the episode that I'm going to show them and be like, yes, it is fucking bad. Stay the hell away from it.
Oh, that's excellent. All right, well, that's a unanimous failure. We are giving this episode the index finger.
Well deserved.
It is going into the pit of failure. And coming up on a future episode of the podcast, me and BT did a special bad episode battle royale where we battled some of the most failiest of failures together.
Most failures is the best way to put that.
So, joining this episode in that pit and coming up soon on a future podcast, we did Little Big Girl, Funeral for a Fiend, The Devil Wears Nada, Mo Goes From Rags to Riches, Lisa Goes Gaga, White Christmas Blues, What to Expect When Bard's Expecting, and Monty Burns' Fleeing Circus, all down there in the disgusting pit of failure. Yeah, this one deserves to be down there, and it'll be the fourth episode from season 28 that's going to be down in the pit.
Yes, you go into that pit, you think about what you did.
Season 28 will have the most unanimous failures out of any season now.
Ooh,
No
nice.
surprise.
And now, before we move on to the teens era, is that reputation justified?
Is that reputation justified?
Let's see. Dennis Perkins of the AV Club.
Old mate.
Yeah, he's not the soft touch from IGN, but he's very unpredictable, isn't he?
Yeah.
He gave this episode a C+.
That's pretty bad for them, isn't it?
Yeah, so C is like their participant failure section
yeah.
of it. Not that a B- is good on their scale either, but he says, the jokes aren't good enough to sustain the premise, the character elements are perfunctory and sparse, and as has been the case for a few years in a row now, the season finale has seemed less like an attempt to go out with a bang and more like an afterthought.
Every time I hear the word perfunctory, I just imagine someone in like a cravat. It just sounds like a very proper word. Perfunctory. Sorry.
I want to make a funk band with that name.
Perfunctory. Yes.
It's like boring funk.
Oh, that's amazing.
What does perfunctory actually
I'm
mean?
not even sure. Like, yeah.
Why don't I have dictionary on my dock? That is such... Come on, what kind of a cunning linguist do I take me for?
Perfunctory. Carried out without real interest, feeling, or effort.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Boring funk band.
Yeah, you're a funk band that doesn't syncopate.
It's just all on the one. Tony Sokol of Denner Geek, 4 out of 5 stars, he says.
Fuck! Has he seen a good episode? Has he just like ascended to another plane of existence when he watches like Homer at bat or something?
Yeah, like, we've criticised IGN for being soft touches. Denner Geek are just fucking insane.
Get out of the fucking den. Holy shit.
There was a reason I wanted to read this one. Oh, his fucking alliteration here. Dogtown panders to puppy love, yet somehow manages to mangle the mutts into a mangy mess of mischievous mayhem. Ugh.
Now, that's why he gave it that review, just so he could do that.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So they've scaled a little higher than we did, but
That 4 out of 5 is
What?
insane.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
got us our lowest rank. That got their second highest. It's like when Suicide Squad won an Oscar. Fuck.
yeah.
It did?
Yeah, like costume and makeup or some shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, now we are going back to the teens era, and Michael, we're continuing our exploration with you on Krusty's father, where we go to season 15's Today I Am a Clown.
Cool.
We'll be back.
Wonder if clowns take over Springfield.
I want to see that.
Clown Town.
And we are back, and we just watched season 15, episode 6, Today I Am a Clown. This was first released in December of '03. It was directed by Nancy Cruz and written by Joel H. Cohen. In this episode, Krusty realizes he never had a bar mitzvah, and he makes a big televised bar mitzvah, and at the same time he leaves his show, and Homer steps in with his own talk show or some shit. Guys, what'd you think?
One bad.
It's all right.
Yeah. It was a definite step up
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
from Shittown.
It stepped out of the pit. We know that much already.
Yeah, it wasn't great either.
No, it wasn't
Yeah.
great, but, you know, I got some laughs, killed some time.
Yeah, had some laughs, killed some time.
I think the opening is a lot stronger than the rest of the episode, which set us in a good position, but then I was a little bit disappointed the rest of it didn't hold up.
Yeah, I feel like once Krusty introduced and you get into the bulk of the story, it just sort of meanders a bit
Yeah.
and doesn't really get solidly into it. And so, yeah, for the first question, for better or worse, what moment sticks out from the story? I just want to say that Homer's story, his popularity seemed apropos of nothing, and it was never really clear what his show was and why it was being introduced in place of a children's TV show.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the reason it was getting popular is meant to be because he's just telling it like it is. But I guess what we need is scenes of maybe parents sitting down with their kids, like, okay, fine, we'll watch Krusty, and then Homer's on instead. And then they're like, hey, I like this. And so then you're getting the parents watching maybe. Yeah, it needed a little bit more there.
Well, yeah, that's it, because it's an adult-orientated show that's on at 4 o'clock, which, most people would be at work, so it doesn't explain why it's popular.
Yeah, and I think if you had a thing where it's something the adults get and they have to watch TV with their kids or something, it'd be something.
Yeah, you had the kids in the audience, so that kind of confused me, because the kids are going to shit on it. Wouldn't they, be getting restless and be like, this isn't for me?
Yeah, or even at least have a line of, it's on, and that's why they're watching it, maybe.
Yeah, and then they do this thing where they have, the Simpsons kids being involved in the production side of the show, which is like, why are they producing an adult show? Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. How about you, BT? What is a moment from this episode that stands out to you for better or worse?
I'm going to go with my negative. This one really threw me off. There's a bit where Krusty's trying to find his replacement. It's like, I need someone who's stupid and not charming. And Homer's like, oh, that's me. And then he puts a fist in his mouth and a fist in his ear.
Yeah.
And all the way in. I had to write the note ear fisting. I didn't want to do that. But it's really unsettling. It's like his hand is in his brain. It's just...
Is that what the kids are into these days?
I don't know. There are easier... We don't need a visual representation that Homer is, gross and stupid.
Yeah.
Couldn't you have just burped or something?
Anything else. Yeah, have him scull a beer and crush the can on his head, but fail to crush the can in your hand. I can do this. I don't know. Anything other than his ear just expanding so his entire fist can fit inside his skull. What the hell?
I'm going to be gifting that for the social media promotion.
I would imagine that's like a failed X-Men, and Professor X is like, what could you do? Oh my God, that's disgusting.
You're worse than Deadpool. So yeah, as a way to introduce and Homer get into the talk show, it was dumb as well. It seemed like a worse version of that joke where Mr. Burns is looking for a patsy.
Hello.
No, what I need now is a patsy.
Hello. Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of feeling a lot like another episode, the second Lisa goes, oh, you should use your position of power to...
Fuck you. Sorry.
So you should you should use your position of power to help people. Like, okay, Stonecutters did it.
Yeah. Oh, and it was Lisa as well.
Yep.
In this story where sort of the show is successful just because.
Because he's just talking, yeah.
And he kind of is doing a sort of semi-social political platform anyway.
He's saved a little bit with a line of, well, I did what Bart said last week.
Yeah,
I guess it's Lisa's turn. Anyway, I kind of got off track there. Continue.
No, that's fine. Well, there were a lot of good jokes in this story, which sort of makes it a shame that sort of some of the story elements were a bit of a letdown. But how about you, Michael? What's a moment that stood out to you for better or worse?
Just the meta reference of Lisa having the Simpsons guide and just being like, wait a minute, didn't Santa's little helper have puppies already? And then they went into how he was meant to be de-sexed. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, absolutely. That whole opening bit, you as the audience, and it's at that exact time that you go, hang on a minute, and then she actually pulls out the Simpsons World Guide.
Yep.
Yeah, good bit of meta moment. And this comes from the part of the episode that I genuinely liked. The kids handing out the puppies and stuff. This was some good material here, I thought.
Yeah, Snake just taking the dog and they're like, we want you to take it. And it's like, good.
I'm going to cherish and take care of this puppy. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
Oh, mwah.
I think that alone is pretty good. Mwah.
And who else takes a puppy? Groundskeeper Willie, who's like, he's a terrible little misfit, just like Willie. Then he's chewing on his overalls afterwards. It's like, yeah, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You're an ugly bastard.
Yeah. Although, it was a bit weird about the flashback sequence where they show Homer and Santa's little helper going for a night on the town in lots of erotic dog venues.
Surprise! Springfield was always a very dog-friendly place. If they have a dog red light district, that's already being pretty dog-friendly.
They can't see red.
A dog light district.
The grey light district.
Oh, that's all he wanted. He just missed casual sex.
Yeah, so the doggy X-rated theater, the doggy sex worker.
Yep.
Yeah, those were things that happened.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So was that technically her pimp then?
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right. She's a self-made woman. She pimps out the dog. That's fucked up.
Well, dogs have notoriously poor money handling skills
Yeah, that's true.
Makes sense.
in its own ridiculous way.
Trying to work in the phrase bottom bitch, or just should I avoid it altogether?
Go for it, man.
Talk about a bottom bitch.
Also, the early joke of when Maggie's locked in the bathroom and they're trying to get her out. And it's like, Lisa does like, how'd you do that? I tried the coat hanger again. I don't know why. We only try ideas once.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mind the Maggie being trapped in the bathroom and when Homer is working the coat hanger and you're like, oh my God, that baby.
Yeah, just knocks over the medicine cabinet and all the scissors and pills fall down.
That's so stupid, but I love how the Pepto-Bismol leaks and he goes, baby blood. Play count. Have you seen this episode before tonight? If so, how many times?
Once, I believe.
Maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, really?
I have actually seen this episode a bit, and this is one I feel that it fools me, because the intro, the first third, it starts out really good, and then it's not until that first act break where you actually know it's about the Krusty Bar Mitzvah story, and you're like, you tricked me again. You got me with the first good act.
Yeah, this feels like 2 episodes split apart. Like you could have
Definitely.
made the Homer thing into a whole episode on its own and developed it more, and the Krusty thing with his dad.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like there's a certain point where you kind of figure out exactly what's going to happen in both storylines, and then you just kind of check out a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, is your mic sliding down?
I'll fix it up.
No, it's all right. I just sort of see it going
Slowly.
lower and you
Or
having to sort of slink for it. It's
To
like,
compensate, yeah.
Happens all the time on mine. It just flies everywhere.
Might be that stand, because Catherine was having trouble with it the other day.
that's what I get for getting the cheap mic stands.
That is.
Need to get some of those roof-hanging ones like fucking Marin's got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get some Marin money in here.
This show is brought to you by Stamps.com. Going to the post office is such a hassle.
But with stamps.
What the fuckers? What the fucknicks? I listen to that show a lot.
Good show.
Yeah, I've seen this episode a bit, but how about the wackiness of this episode? What were some of the wacky moments that stood out to you?
Mr. T spinning on that
The menorah.
the
Menorah, that's
menorah, and it had like fireworks and shit coming out of it. That was very wacky. And he has like a fucking slot on top of his head so he
Yeah.
can remove the hair.
The mohawk and replace it with the kind of
It's like
Yomoka.
Yeah.
It's like Yondu's Finn from Guardians
A
of the
little
Galaxy. Now go get me the big red prototype fan.
That was good.
No, that's some guy's arm.
I am Groot. I love Baby Groot. Yeah, so that was weird. May as well mention the guest stars of this episode. Yeah, Mr. T, who's here for some reason.
Weirdly enough, I really liked it.
I did too.
Just so much on that. Okay, I guess it's Mr. T now.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's 2 points to there's highlights that, yeah, why wouldn't they get a Jewish celebrity to be here? But then also, I guess it's because he's doing this big over-the-top televised bar mitzvah that he's just sort of getting in the C-list tacky celebrity that...
Well, hold on. Hang on.
Are you checking if Mr. T's Jewish?
Duh.
He's, I will bet so much money that he's not. He's not.
He is.
No, sorry. In this search, I found a website called JewOrNotJew.com.
Look up me.
Hang on. Oh my god, that is so weird. All right. I'm trying to read this. I'm just also crying with laughter. It's even verdict, not a Jew, in bold.
This show brought to you by JewOrNotAJew.com. Finding out which celebrities is a Jew is so much hassle these days.
Mind blown that this is even here.
So I think that's sort of what you can take away from Mr. T's appearance, that, yeah, even though he wasn't a Jewish entertainer, so he's a bit out of place here, that's probably the point.
Yeah, I think any kind of offense that was derived from this, like the big menorah spinning around or anything like that, is that, yeah, that's the problem. He's gone and made his bar mitzvah Hollywoodized or glamorized for television instead of, doing what it's supposed to do, which is follow tradition. So, yeah, I think that conflict works.
Yeah. I just think they rushed to it.
Yeah, it was a little bit quick.
And considering how much fat there was to chop from this episode, yeah. Most of the wackiness of this episode was sort of in that section. We have a couple of weird fantasy jokes where Homer saves Lincoln from getting shot.
And then JFK.
Yeah. So this comes into The Simpsons not knowing how time works.
I guess. Another part of the 3-part theme now.
Oh, what were our other two?
Santa's Little Helper and Crazy Cat Lady.
Yeah, that's right. Crazy Cat Lady looks super disappointed not to get a dog. She was like, oh, this could have been the balance in my life.
I know, I felt for her then.
Yeah. Any other wacky moments that stood out to you guys?
Oh, the Itchy and Scratchy Briss was very creative.
Yeah.
What did he turn Scratchy into?
Into one of those little glasses they step on during weddings. I don't know if they have a specific name.
This Itchy and Scratchy tickled me pretty well, like, because it starts out with the caption, you know, a Briss before dying, and you're like, oh God, how are they going to make this work? And yeah, the Itchy then just mutilates the fuck out of Scratchy with the scalpel.
Pretty brutal. To be fair, he's mutilating himself.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, why are you cutting yourself? Why are you cutting yourself?
And the pun of Mouseltoffel.
Yeah, it's one of those so terrible you kind of love it anyway puns.
Yeah, I agree. Other wacky moments?
It's like, no pork, no this, no that. There's all these rules. It's like a strip club.
Yeah. And yeah, a bit of wackiness in that moment. He's eating a full mini pig on a sandwich.
Yep. Snout first.
Oh.
That was a bit much for me.
Sorry, some great little, well, not great, but some good little wackinesses. Like, he goes back to the old Jewish community. He's like, it's just like old times. DSL! Who'll buy my high-speed internet? Brazilian wax!
Oh, my God.
I got a laugh out of that. Spruiking Brazilian wax on...
From a hairy Orthodox...
Hey, you don't have to be hairy everywhere.
They just leave the little curls at the side. Oh, I'm going to hell. There was actually a really good touch when he is walking down the Jewish Walk of Fame, how all the stars are the 6-point star of David, rather than in Hollywood it's just like the typical 5-point star.
Yep.
Which is meant to be representative of the pentagram, because Hollywood is a satanic cesspool.
Yeah, but what do we know? That's all run by wizards. Wizard World Conspiracy. Look it up.
So let's talk about the heart of this episode. Did you guys feel the bumps?
I felt one bump, like right at the end with Homer telling Marge, like, oh, will you make me my Sunday? I don't know why that. Yeah.
I know, it was kind of cute. Like, let's go make your own Sunday, bud. Will you make my Sunday? Of course.
Yeah, that was a cute moment.
Ever the strong, supportive for Homer to lean on. Just, beautiful, Marge.
Yeah, and I think they could have gotten a bit more out of Krusty, I think. It's why we're talking about before about being rushed of... have his father maybe plead with him a bit early, like, Herschel, this is becoming so over the top, can't you?
Yeah.
Isn't it meant to be about, he's like, but Papa, well, I'm supposed to blah, blah, blah. I don't know, give us something there. Yeah. Instead of just the conclusion at the end.
Yeah, Dad, I've lost my show now. This is all I've got. And this
is my big chance, you know?
Oh, this is all I've got. And he's like, no, your faith is all you should need.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's great. So yeah, even just one scene, would have been enough to really build that up a bit more. Yeah,
because when they're panning to Krusty's father, Rabbi Hyman, in the crowd, and they do the little bit of sad music while all the crowd's cheering, and that was a heart moment for me, but also it wasn't earned, because that was like the first we'd seen of him in almost half the episode.
Yeah, exactly. If it just one scene earlier where they, set up this conflict a little bit more.
Yeah, it's something that I'm noticing in these later period Simpsons is they often leave too much time between the story moments. Like, I mean, it's not that I'm going to forget after 10 minutes or, you need to remind me every 3 minutes or else I forget.
It's the writing thing of threes, where the setup, the reminder, and the payoff.
Yeah, that's right.
So we just have setup and payoff, and there's no reminder, which would give it more gravity.
Or how Mario levels work, where introduce the mechanic, advance the mechanic, and then the challenge of the mechanic.
Yep.
Yahoo.
Thank you, that YouTube video that taught us that.
It can be applied to writing. Ultimately, though, guys, did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Felt like a mid-teens episode of The Simpsons, definitely.
Yeah. Accurate.
It felt like what it was, an okay episode.
Yeah, I agree.
A bit more could have been earned with a bit more effort, but what's there is definitely a cut above crap.
Yeah, they almost hit the right beats, but they don't do it in the right way, but not in a way that sort of fucks up the integrity. Like we were talking about, Homer taking Lisa's advice to do the right social thing. That is a move we've seen before in an episode we fucking love.
Yep.
Yeah, just not handled that great here. And yeah, Krusty always being a bad Jewish person. That's, classic. Yeah, I don't see much integrity that's sort of wrong. It's like the integrity of the story of the show, And Homer's story and Krusty's story almost have nothing to do with each other, even though they started from the same point.
Yeah, they diverge very heavily.
But ultimately, guys, would you watch this one again?
Yeah, I'd watch it one more time maybe. Just for the Mr. T stuff, to be honest, because I love me some Mr. T.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on, I'll just hang around, but I'm not going to seek it out in any capacity.
Yeah, if it's on and we're doing the Hangover playlist, I'm definitely, it's the Bar Mitzvah episode. I'm going to sleep right about now, and then I'll set an alarm to make me up right before the Mr. T material.
Yeah, I'll get my chuckle at, champagne or Slim Fast. That really passes the time.
Let's scroll.
Let's scroll. Oh, yeah, and when they're like, I haven't seen you since the Chevy Chase race. Yeah, we were pretty rough on him. Yeah, it almost makes me think I got Mr. T only so that they could do the turn of phrase of one is muscle bound and one is bound not to eat muscle.
Yeah.
Maybe watching it again. What playlist do we put it in?
Mr. T heavy episodes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's been in a couple now. And appearances of Hyman, Krusty's father.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, the other guest star for this episode, Jackie Mason.
Yep.
Make up with your daughter, Jackie. Come
You
on.
bastard.
Stop being a cunt.
Watch that first episode you were in. Realize that was all about reconciliation and reconcile.
Yeah.
Take some advice from your own fiction.
Any other playlists, maybe?
What about Homer's occupation?
Yeah. Oh, Homer Jobs. Yeah, he's in a talk show. Musical moments. There was a completely unnecessary Ring of Fire reference at the start.
Yeah, that was odd. They would have had to pay for that, so I don't know if it was worth it.
And when they're doing this parody song and like Homer starts out by going da 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 and doesn't even do lyrics for the second half, and then I didn't even catch what the lyrics were. A foaming bowl of something? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna pee in a foaming bowl of China.
Oh, that's what he said.
Yeah, it's about it.
The bowl doesn't foam though.
No.
So it's not a foaming bowl of China. It's like your pee is the foaming.
Let's not think about this too much.
Can't forget the Beach Boys with Jewish lyrics.
That's right.
There we go. That's where the kosher cheese was at. Again, must be tying into this bar mitzvah thing. Totally not a Jewish band. But yeah, they were doing like this parody of Kokomo.
Mm-hmm.
Koshamo.
Yeah.
I'm hating myself right now. Don't worry. I am punching myself in the dick.
That's not your dick. That's a table. I know the difference.
With post-production skills, no one will be able to tell the difference.
The diddly difference.
That's all I have to say about it. Any other comments on the Beach Boys?
No.
No.
Good band.
Yeah, totally.
Pet Sounds, great album.
Fucking A. And yeah, I even have a soft, tacky spot for Kokomo.
Oh, yeah.
And for the longest time, because John Stamos is in the video for that, I thought he was part of the Beach Boys.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's just randomly in the background playing the drums or whatever the fuck they're called. Yeah.
BT, what would you like to change about this episode?
I think we've already covered it. Just focus on the story you've got there and bump up the turning points, the reminders, and the reinforcement of the thumps and the think pieces a little more.
Yep, definitely. Michael, any changes you'd like to make?
I would just focus on one thing. Either focus on Krusty and his relationship with his dad, or focus on Homer and getting the TV show somehow, but like justify how he gets it, why he gets it, what exactly he does that's so special that makes it a success, and show us that and how that comes across. I don't know, like when Homer like loses the show, you don't feel anything for him because it's like he didn't really earn it. He was just handed it, and then it was only because he's meant to be like the partsy.
It was just like, first the plot giveth, then the plot taketh away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was like that, hey? Yeah, I'll just expand on that. Yeah, split them off into 2 episodes and maybe even give us something more with these new puppies. Like, because Krusty's dog just effectively gets forgotten once we start rolling with this story. I would have liked to see the dog come up a bit more. I don't know for what reason.
At least be there.
Yeah. Maybe he takes some time away from the show and it's his decision to spend more time studying up on the Torah and spend more time with his new dog. He's got new priorities in life, and then that gives you the reason to have a show. And also, make Homer have a children's show. It's not that far-fetched.
That's true.
Why wasn't it Homie the Clown? Like,
I kind of thought it was going to happen when he's sitting in the chair and he gets stuck and the guys come in and pull him out of it. I thought that was going to get a laugh from the kids.
Oh my God.
And then he was going to be more of a goofball show.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
Well, I guess the problem is he'd probably be good at it.
At least there'd be some conflict, though, with Krusty coming back, and then it's like them fighting over the show or something.
Yep. Yeah, and the producers are like, look, he's cheaper, your contract's like a ridiculous amount now, he's getting better ratings, and we can hire him for much less. And then you have your conflict, and then even Krusty, like, that would give him the impetus to get deeper into his religion because he's lost his main source of work and he's lost his inner peace or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, lots of changes you can make. All right, let's get into the final notes. Michael, what do you got?
I love Homer's bear slippers. I noticed that they're in other episodes, but yeah, I always love seeing them.
They look so comfy.
Yeah. $350 to play air hockey with a prostitute. I mean a pimp, dog pimp.
Dog pimp.
Seems a bit steep.
Yeah, there's lots of nice people at Time Zone that'll surely play you for a lot less.
Yeah. McBain coming up to Krusty and like...
yeah.
Yeah, he made like an anti-Semitical remark or something.
Because Krusty's all like, I thought I was a self-hating Jew, but I'm not Jewish, so now I'm just an anti-Semite. And then,
Yeah, I was like, are they trying to say Schwarzenegger's an anti-Semite? Like, what are they going for there? Or is it just McBain? Because McBain's meant to be so tied to Schwarzenegger most of the time.
It feels like that's going to be the comparison they're making.
Yeah, like in older episodes when Schwarzenegger did The Last Action Hero, they were referencing that with McBain.
Yeah. Magic ticket my ass, McBain.
There were script problems from day one.
I don't know, maybe I missed the news story where Arnie said some racist shit, but like it felt like a Mel Gibson joke being given to Arnie. Like,
a little bit, yeah.
And it was bad. It was in poor taste. I didn't like it at all.
No.
Any more notes?
I've just got Carl like, how about some new oldies? That was good. That was a good line.
As I was complaining about the other day, they're doing that now, except it's stuff I grew up with. It's like, no, I'm not ready for this to be on classic hits yet. No.
What were you saying? There was something that I was like...
Fucking Avril Lavigne was on there.
Oh, that's right. Like, I remember being depressed when I tuned in one day like 10 years ago and they were playing the Chili Peppers under the bridge.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not there already, am I? And now you're telling me fucking Complicated is on there?
Yep.
Oh, God.
Songs about doing heroin are now okay for oldies.
Oh, remember the heroin.
Fond memories of
was
the
a
heroin.
good time.
How about you, BT? Any final notes?
Just one. So there's a scene where Marge is in the green room, I presume, and she says like, oh, my husband's successful or something like that, and her lip sync is way out. So it looks like a definite redub of... Maybe she said something really off color. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it looks rewritten and hastily rewritten, so something must have been, yeah.
Yes, just awful happened there.
And that is all your notes?
That is all of them.
That is all your notes?
Yeah, Fox headquarters, the trailer. That's about it.
Oh, yeah.
I got a chuckle.
Which actually, given the recent selling out of a lot of their properties, is probably not that far from the truth.
Yeah. A trailer's out there somewhere.
Now they've been bought out by Disney, they can afford a trailer van.
Oh, actually, it's in dispute. Comcast are trying to come in from under Disney because the deal isn't done, apparently. And I don't think they're trying to get all that Disney has, but they're trying to at least get some of the properties.
Ooh, interesting. Who will own the X-Men?
Watch this space. Time for my final notes. I'm going to read them now. Right now. Yes, it's time for the final notes. Sorry, it's just
yeah, it's a great theme song.
It's the best.
Although, have you ever heard the Japanese version? Because that's pretty good too.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it's different, but it's pretty badass.
Awesome. Yeah, what was with mid-90s children's cartoons and having the most awesome theme music?
Last week we were talking about why doesn't anything get a cartoon tie-in anymore?
Ah, yeah.
And this week, why don't kids' cartoons have just amazing theme songs anymore?
Yeah, because X-Men and fucking Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
I have been to 3 gigs where metal bands have covered that song. It has never failed to light the audience right the fuck up.
Nice.
Voyager were the best at it. Go check out Voyager. They're fun power metal. All right, final notes. Let's get on with this. I liked how Bart was using Homer's head as a battering ram. And then Homer was like, boy, you're doing it wrong. I like this line because it reminded me of older dogs that I had in the past. You'll have to save your loving for the couch cushions, boy.
You.
That's dogs for you.
Oh.
They're so adorable and stuff, but...
They'll hump things.
They'll hump things. They'll shit on things.
They'll hump the shit.
I thought comic book guy being stuck in the teacups was a little of a stupid cutaway, but then I liked the line of Beauty and the Beast fried dough chateau.
It does beg the question of how did he get home with a teacup attached to him?
Yeah, you would have thought the Disney bus would have stopped him right. And in the Homer story, I did like how he kept changing his third guest.
Yeah.
It went from Lenny to Barney and then quickly went to Disco Stew. But I found it weird that Disco Stew didn't have a rhyme there.
Sure, it could have been like, Disco Stew won't get in the way of you.
Yeah, there we go. I thought it was pretty gross, Homer's choking scenes in this episode, choking the dog, and then Dr. Hibbert watching TV and go, so that's why he's got all those broken tracheal bones. Oh well, and then changes channel.
Yeah, choking Bart scene only works if we never think about the reality of it.
And just as time goes on, the reality is just that much more horrible.
Yep.
And my final note is that Patty and Selma were really off model in the end. Their nose and eyes were just way weird and, like, not right.
I don't even remember seeing them.
They looked like someone put on the beer goggles.
Yeah.
That version.
Yeah.
Not the full strength beer goggles.
You're
like
the pants off me.
Yeah.
maybe just the beer goggles that are like 3 to 4 beer strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm out of notes. It is time to rank this thing. Michael, kick it off.
What's above participant?
Bronze.
Bronze? Yeah, I'll go bronze.
Cool. Why are you going bronze today?
Because it's like a fun episode in that like it moves along. It doesn't feel like it overstays its welcome. Like that last episode we watched, like that was like just really sluggish pace of just shit going everywhere. And like I did not remember a thing from that episode after. But like this episode, I remembered at least some of the gags. It was fun. It could have easily been like a really good episode. It's just...
They just didn't take them.
Yeah, they just weren't too sure where exactly they were going with it as far as the focus. It was a bit all over the place. And like there was some potential for heartfelt moments.
Yep. All right, cool. How about you, BT?
I'm stuck on like a Patissa bronze. However, I think I had a few too many good laughs out of this one to really call it a participant. I think I enjoyed myself just enough to get over the line into bronze. So, yeah, look, it could have been a much better episode with a few minor tweaks. It's kind of a shame we didn't get there, but there's some good chuckles to be had, especially in the beginning. And yeah, the Mr. T stuff is pretty funny. So, yeah, I'm pretty not a solid bronze for me, but if I could mid-rank it, I would, but I can't, so it's a bronze.
Yeah, well, I'm here to fill in that gap because I'm going participant with this.
I'm glad one of us did.
Yeah, this isn't me affecting the overall rank. This is actually my personal opinion, is that I did have a lot of fun with some of these jokes in here, but they're so isolated from the fact that I don't really want to watch this episode again. Like, I said before that, in a hangover test, yeah, I'd watch the first third and then the last minutes, but that's not a good episode to me. Just to me anyway. I totally get what you guys are saying. Because...
No, I'm second guessing myself, but no, I'm going to stick with the bronze. But it's very borderline for me.
You've kind of convinced me. I might change mine to participant.
Yeah, if you want to change
I
it.
can't be the high one.
You can go participant as well if you like.
Yeah.
I feel like it needs to be high on the participant rank, so it needs to at least be...
That's your rank, man.
God damn. No, I'm going to stick with the bronze. I would only be changing because I don't want to be the high one.
I'm the high one.
Exactly. It's your job. I just get drunk and fall down.
So you're going with participant now, or sticking with bronze?
Yeah.
Or?
Nah, participant.
Oh,
you make
right.
a really good case, Ellie.
Yeah, I don't want to step on your ranks too much because I absolutely get where the bronze ranking comes from. It doesn't quite get up there enough for me personally, but I mean, it's a tricky one to rank, I feel. But ultimately, it'll be a shiny participant all around, which sounds so right for it.
Yeah, which is where it needs to be, I think.
This will be joining other such episodes as Homer vs. Dignity, Homer's Paternity Coot, which we reviewed a little while ago, The Scorpion's Tail, which we did recently with Jordan, with Werner Herzog.
See, I enjoyed this one more than that one, so...
Yeah, but I think I was the only one that enjoyed that one. You guys were like, fuck you. And I was like, no, fuck you. And then
you're like, no, fuck you.
The Bob Next Door, where they do like the Sideshow Bob face-off thing, Marge Gamer, where she gets addicted to WoW, and Regarding Margie, where she gets amnesia.
I put this roughly on par with Marge Gamer, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was another episode where the story was fucked up, but there are a lot of good gags in it. And especially for elite gamers like us.
So very elite with threes.
Yeah, not that I've ever played WoW for more than an hour, I think.
Never touched it because I will become immediately addicted and you will not see me anymore.
Oh, yeah. I've always said if video games are drugs, WoW is heroin.
Yep. It's like for a while they were rumored to be doing a World of StarCraft. I'm like, if that comes out, That's where I would be right now, in my parents' basement. That would have been the end of me. So thank God they never released it.
Double the weight, quadruple the acne.
At least I need to gain the weight to support the acne. It's the sheer surface area required.
I mean, I say all that now, but like, I am totally hooked on like Splatoon and Overwatch and that stuff.
Splatoon's good.
Yeah, I can't get enough of Splatoon. How about you? What are your addicting games? What are you
What am I playing now? Probably Zelda was very addictive when that came out on Switch. That was a really fun game. Just a massive game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much to do in it. So much stuff to find in that.
Just the number of things you didn't know worked until you tried them.
Oh, yeah, like using the environment and stuff like that.
I think we both saw that gif of someone like throwing the boomerang and then catching it with the magnesis, and so it hovers there like a spinning blade. It's like, I didn't even know you could. I played this for like 120 hours. I didn't know you could do that.
That's how I felt with the shield surfing. I just button mashed, and then I was like, oh, what?
And yeah, I proceeded to go through all my shields after I discovered that.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah, it's really cool when you can get the shield surfing off a cliff and then you get the paragliding and then you're paragliding with the shield on your feet.
You're like, shaka bra.
Shaka bra. How about you, BT? You gaming much at the moment?
I don't know where the time is. I can't find it anymore.
Did a bit of laboing.
Did a bit of laboing. That was fun. I played a lot of Shadow of the Colossus on the remaster.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wanted to finish the stuff I never got to finish 4.
Yeah, I'd play that, but like, I was like right into Splatoon, and then God of War came along, and that's like a very similar game. So
yeah, Shadow is a very slow pacing game, so you got to be in the mood to be contemplative.
Contemplative.
No, for me, it's going to be BioShock's forever. I probably played BioShock more times through than anything else. So,
Awesome. All right, now we are going all the way back to the classic era with our next episode. We are going into Season 4's The Front. The most vaguely named episode ever.
The front of what?
Dogtown.
Hopefully not. All right, guys, we'll be back.
With The Front.
And we are back, and we just watched our classic and final episode for the evening's recording. This was Season 4, Episode 19, The Front. This was first released in April of 93, directed by Rich Moore, written by Adam I. Lapidus in his only Simpsons credit. He wrote for, like, a lot of Disney children's shows, like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and stuff.
Wow, are we sure he's not 2 children posing as an adult? And that's why he only has 1 Simpsons credit.
You know, actually, the inspiration for this episode came from an actual real-world event where kids wrote in to Tiny Toons and pitched them an episode. And Steven Spielberg himself loved it so much that he brought them in and developed it with the writers.
Wow, cool.
Of Tiny Toons, yeah.
Way to go, Spielberg, and embracing the fans.
Yeah.
Giving the kids a chance.
He has these weird non-movie projects like Tiny Toons, like that.
A couple of video game credits to his production.
Yeah, Boom Blocks, which was like one of my most favorite Wii games, especially like for a party atmosphere. Yep. Like, seriously, if y'all out there have got a Wii and it's gathering dust, seriously, get Boom Blocks. It's going to be like $10 at a video game shop. It is so much fun.
And also No More Heroes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't think Spielberg had anything to do with that, but it's really good.
It's a good game a lot of people didn't pay attention to.
But anyway, back to this episode. In this episode, this is the one where Bart and Lisa come up with an Itchy and Scratchy cartoon, but they send it in to Roger Mize, who rejects it because they're kids. So they send the script in with Grandpa's name to great success. Grandpa becomes a member of the Itchy and Scratchy writing staff and then becomes the sole member of the Itchy and Scratchy writing staff. And also in the B story, Homer, it's revealed that he never got his high school certificate, whatever they call it over in the States. So he goes back to night school and takes remedial science again. Guys, what did you think?
I believe it's called a GDP.
GDP.
Yep. Grade school diploma.
GSP.
All right. I don't know what I'm talking about.
GED.
That's it.
Yeah.
The GED.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Such a classic, man.
Yeah, great episode.
Yeah, I love the grandpa focus in this.
Yeah.
There were just so many great little grandpa moments.
They really kind of flow in nicely as well. It's like, why did you think you were getting a check for doing absolutely nothing? Thought the Democrats were in power.
I've got a job and all I have to do is tell the cat and mouse what to do.
Really?
Oh, man. So good. Yeah, this is top shelf grandpa. First off, what is a moment from the story that stood out to you for better or worse? We'll start with you, BT.
I want to go with something that I think was cut from our televised syndication on network television Australia, where Lisa's writing the Itchy and Scratchy episode, and Itchy cuts Scratchy's head off with a razor, and then that's where it cut on Channel 10, but he actually kicks the head off and then dances the Mexican hat around it, around the fountain of blood. So,
yeah, out of the blood that's spewing from the spinal cord.
Yep, I'm certain that was cut from network television.
Yeah, I felt like I would have remembered that. I like a good Mexican hat dance song gag.
I always remember thinking, oh, geez, Lisa's episode's a bit crap. He just cuts off his head and that's it. And then this explains, no, there was actually more to it.
Yeah, it's funny that, like, what the censors chose to cut from Australian broadcast, mostly to do with Itchy and Scratchy cartoons.
A lot of their stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like the episode where they go to Itchy and Scratchy Land, like, I think there was, like, a good minute and a half out of that episode that was cut for Australian syndication.
Have we done that yet?
No, I'm saving that till, like, very last, where we got to earn that shit.
All right, cool.
Even Itchy and Scratchy, the movie, I'm not quite ready for us to do yet.
Fair.
Classic episodes. Michael, what about you? What's a moment from this episode that stood out to you, for better or worse?
Oh, I mean, like, a favorite for me has always been the scene where Homer thinks about, like, what Abe has just told him about.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, pay me $800 to tell a cat and a mouse what to do.
And just seeing him push a wheelbarrow, Abe in a wheelbarrow, and he's like, la, 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 la. And it's got Nut House in big letters.
That's as far as his imagination can go.
That's always been a favorite of mine and my mum's as well.
Yeah.
But also, just the whole, like, the way the cartoon writers are presented, like the way Lisa's just like, cartoons have writers, and how they're just all fucking around in this big room and just giving off this sort of feeling that they don't take their job seriously, and they just
except for the one Harvard guy.
Yeah, except for the Harvard guy.
Fair Harvard. Yeah, the writer's room's like messy, and they're like doing that game where you throw pencils up in the roof and it sticks in the roof.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you guys have those rooms at your school? I know we did.
Oh, yeah, we did. There was always a whole bunch of pencils up there.
You guys had roofs? Were you private school or something?
Oh, come on. Your high school was way nicer than mine.
We had 2 walls and we made do, damn it.
What was I going to say? Yeah, this episode had so many classic moments and an unusual amount of thought fantasy bubble moments, I thought, which stood out to me. At the moment at the start with Lisa goes, oh, us writing a kids show, Bart, are you thinking what I'm thinking? No. Holding up Santa. I liked that one, and I liked Grandpa's fantasy of him being a queen of the Old West.
I kept a 6-shooter in my garter belt, I did.
It's so random.
I know, but I know that feeling of his, not of wanting to be a queen of the Old West, but of really just wanting to get back into a dream because it was so good.
Like that, I want to know how that ends. Oh, I can't get back to it. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
The future flash forward to Homer, their 50th year reunion, and he's still got a plunger on his head.
So this was good because that's how the episode started. That's how it ended.
Little bookend.
Yeah, little plunger bookend.
As he tries to pull it off and just takes the stick out. Like, oh.
That has happened to me, like, while plunging a toilet.
I was about to say, that's happened to you.
Yeah.
but not on your head.
No, it's even worse, because then I had to put my hand in a bowl full of shit.
Wow, that is worse.
Yes, much worse. Get proper plungers, don't cheap out on your plungers, people.
Proper plungers, people.
Too many lives have been lost.
We just got a new tongue twister of proper plungers, people.
Plunge properly.
No, keep it simple. Proper plungers, people.
So play count. How many times before tonight have you seen this episode?
Oh, man, probably in the 10, 15, round there somewhere.
Yeah, sure. How about you, BT?
Proper plungers.
Sorry. You're making that sorry.
Hang on. I shouldn't be doing it in the middle of this, but I am. So.
Hey, you're not going to remember until I put the episode up, and
then I'll be driving, and I shouldn't drive and tongue twist.
Yes, it's much better to podcast and text than text and drive.
Yep. Just a whole bunch of times. It was very high syndication back in the day, so I've definitely seen it 40.
Yeah, I'd say this is up there for me. I associate it more with the syndication rewatches more than the going out of my way watching it myself. But yeah, season 4 is an absolute classic. So what about some of the wacky moments of this episode? What were some of the more cartoony moments that stand out to you?
Well, Krusty with the nicotine patches, just going ape shit with that, and just
I
putting
think
it
some more
all
space
over
on my
him.
butt.
Yeah, and getting Sideshow Mel to put it on his butt in front of a whole group of children on the show. That's pretty messed up.
Like, I can relate, like, doing the nicotine patches does make you insane. It did for me anyway. Like, I don't know, you're not much of a smoker at all, Beach. Did you ever smoke? Do you smoke?
No, my brother's going through the nicotine patches right now, so now I'm a bit worried about what to expect.
Well, yeah, because I did them when I was trying to quit once, and, like, it didn't ever satisfy my nicotine craving. It just made me emotional as fuck. And, like, I'm a pretty, like, middle person, like, and seeing me, like, go through wild mood swings, like, my friends at uni were literally like, dude, here's a cigarette, fucking knock it off.
Like, you knock it off.
So other wacky elements.
Homer, it's time to tell her the secret from your past. Marge, I ate those fancy soaps you bought for the bathroom.
Oh my god.
I mean the other one. Marge, I never graduated high school.
Well, that doesn't explain about the soap. Oh, maybe it does.
I love the answer. Maybe it does. And then later on that, Marge, ex-nay on the I school A. What'd you say? I don't know, I failed Latin as well.
So funny.
Yeah, and that ties back into the earlier call of ex-nay on the UJ.
Oh, yeah, from Krusty. Yeah, that's interesting that we just did the episode of his bar mitzvah, and this one started out with him being ashamed of his Jewish heritage.
Yeah, when did that first come up? Like, is that just the episode where he reunites with his father, the first episode we really learned that? Or is it before then?
Yeah, I'd say it is, because, like, in that episode that we watched with you, Michael, last time you were on, they really make a big deal of, like, oh, Krusty must be Jewish.
Yeah, what season was that, though?
3, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's probably the first time it comes up. All right.
Yeah, so interesting way to start out the episode. The other wacky thing I want to point out is the reused background gag. Where, they're walking through the animation wing and they're making a point of, they just reuse the backgrounds and it's just cycling the woman mopping in the water cooler.
Yeah, it's one of those great things where they could have got away with it if it was just the wall and the water cooler.
Yeah.
But they had to put the woman mopping in just to really drive that home.
They've done stuff like that too before as well, like where they'd have Homer in the foreground and also in the background, and they're talking about the animation and stuff like that.
Well,
that's it.
It's even in this episode where the guy gets the little desk triangle label name thing. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, what is that called?
Heavy triangular thing that has the name of whose desk it is on it. He gets that thrown at him, and that's a repeat of animation.
Yeah.
Editing Bay Elliot Jay here to say that they're just called nameplates. It's pretty disappointing, actually. Anyway, back to the show. Yeah, so both these things bring up a good point, which is, in my research for this episode, I found that, they really padded for time. This episode came up like a minute and a half short in their final edit. So
which is surprising because it feels very complete. Nothing feels rushed or like glossed over or anything.
I'd actually say that Homer's story feels a bit rushed.
Maybe a bit. I guess, it's just such a comforting food kind of thing that I don't want to fault it.
It is like a B story.
Yeah, it's definitely, it takes about the time of a B story.
Yeah. And the appropriate amount of time, and it hits all the points. It's it is like a fair point that everything feels so solid. It doesn't really feel like they padded, so that when they did, it was actually kind of elegant.
Yeah, I guess everything was just efficient.
Yeah.
So
Back when Simpsons used to be efficient. So how about the heart of this episode? Did you guys feel the bumps?
Well, it wasn't high on the bumps. I did feel a little bit for Homer trying to get his most improved Oda trophy back. I mean, we've all been there, so that's very relatable.
Definitely. He is crushed.
Oh, yeah.
To lose that.
All those trophies, just no! And that donut burning. Ooh. From the blue flame, you can tell it was a particularly sweet donut.
And that dude just next to him, just baffled yet, like...
But like genuinely comforting. He was like, oh, I know, buddy. But...
Gonna be okay.
But it's just... I love it because, he's so scientific and clinical, and this is such an emotional thing for him. You just,
it's not happening.
You're seeing a scientist going, okay, well, from the evidence here, you can determine. And it's like, so the heart for Bart, Lisa, and their grandpa, did you guys feel that?
I mean, like, for Abe, he kind of shows, like, I don't know, he felt guilty being kind of like a fraud.
Yeah,
so
that bit where he breaks down and yells out, "I'm a fraud and a failure. You fired all the other writers." Huh? No, I wasn't paying attention. And now I've got to go.
Yeah, and like on stage, like when he finally realizes what Itchy and Scratchy is, he kind of like, he doesn't compromise his integrity and kind of chooses to speak out about what his name has been attached to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like a good sort of moment for Abe, but I mean, it's not like a heart-wrenching sort of moment, is it?
No. It's an integrity heart.
Yeah, it's an integrity heart.
And the kids recognize that as well.
Yeah, they don't say, "Grandpa, shut up. We got a good thing going here." They're like, "Nah, well done, Grandpa.
Yeah.
We'll never watch another awards ceremony again." Unless that delightful Billy Crystal is involved.
Yeah.
Which was a more relevant joke when Billy Crystal hosted all the things back in the 90s.
Yep.
But these days, who do we have now? Like, no one's as constant as Billy Crystal was. They tend to change it up every year.
Yeah.
So ultimately, though, guys, did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
110%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, Homer's adorably dumb, not just irritating dumb.
Yeah.
Lisa's ambitious, where she gets the idea of writing the episode. Bart's the kind of hyperactive kid who's going to be able to write a good episode.
Yeah, it's where Bart's, dare I say, an anarchic streak has a funnel to, focus his...
Where he and Lisa really work well together because they complement each other's strengths, yeah.
She does the righty good and he does the morbid ideas good.
The thinky good.
Yeah. With her book smarts and his ability to exploit people with book smarts.
Yeah, honestly though, Lisa writes well, Superman writes good.
It's
been a while. Feels good.
It's been a while. Yeah, we got 2 memes in there. Yeah.
But look at this graph.
Oh, God. Great. Now I've got fucking the Paddle Pop line smiling at because they even do one with like Dr. Hibbert doing the punch through the frame thing.
Look at this photograph.
So, yeah, this is feeling like an episode of The Simpsons. This is The Simpsons hitting their absolute stride at this point in the show's run. A lot of people say the true classic seasons are like 4 to 7, something like that. And yeah, this is where The Simpsons got it figured out.
Yeah,
so integrity is just not in question in this one. But yes or no, would you watch this episode again?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why did I sing it like Metallica? I could have done the, oh, yeah.
I don't know either, but you went there.
Well, this is where I'm going now. Playlist. What other episodes would you put this in for a Simpsons marathon? What kind of themes and playlists would you put this in?
The Scratchies and the Itchies.
Yep. Classic Itchy and Scratchy episodes, definitely.
Yeah, Lisa and Bart working together.
Yeah. You've totally got a Lisa and Bart team up going.
Abe Simpson Weird Dreams. And Abe Simpson Angry Letters.
Yep. Abe Simpson dressing up like a woman in certain points.
Yeah, put whichever one is,
Won't you come home?
Holder. There's a few of these. Actually, there's the one where they forget his pills. And he's
yeah, that's right.
There's something you should know about me.
I've got Stephen Eady tickets.
I'm all yours.
Oh, I've got another good playlist. Dondelinger. Yeah, Mr. Dondelinger, the high school principal. We usually see him in the flashback episodes. It's nice sort of going to a modern day Dondelinger.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, always good to see him.
Homer in high school.
That's true.
I can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Such a good quote. Wish I put that in my high school yearbook. But I didn't graduate.
We'll put it on your tombstone.
Yay! You can say Artie Ziff, but also not, because this wasn't John Lovitz doing the voice that he usually does. It was actually Dan Castellaneta.
Doing a pretty good version, though.
Yeah, it was like a little bit
a
really
little
obvious.
off-brand, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It got the snootiness across.
Yeah, but it's interesting, he goes, I bet you give it all up to spend one day with Marge, and then that's a plot point for like a season 14, 15 episode. Yeah. BT, what would you like to change about this episode?
Ooh, wow. I really don't think there's anything. I think the only thing would maybe be like a modernization. There are some things that, don't age, but you can't really fault an episode for that. It is a product of its time. But things like, references to Billy Crystal, stuff like that. But I'm not calling that a fault. I'm just saying if for some reason you're updating it for idiotic reasons, you would do that. But no, I do not believe I have anything I want to change.
How about you, Michael? Is there anything you'd like to change?
I don't know. I mean, like, it felt a bit too easy for Homer getting through the whole night class. It didn't really seem like there was much of a struggle there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like his B story was just quick jokes. There wasn't meant to be any conflict or growth there.
Yeah.
So, which, fair enough. But at the same time, yeah, it would have been interesting to see a bit more dynamic on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just a few more lessons and like him actually participating in class, because really we had that introductory thing, the donut burning, and then the test. There wasn't much there. So I'd agree with that. I wish there, and especially in an episode that ran short, you know,
Yeah.
they had the extra long intro with the freaking circus couch gag.
Yeah,
There was all
another
the
couple
room
of
in the
scenes.
word for them to, do that.
So one thing I do want to bring up that I could possibly change, I don't get that Ren and Stimpy joke.
Me neither.
Nominees are Ren and Stimpy season opener, and it just comes up with clip not finished yet.
Yeah, I had to look this one up. Look, this is a bit of fact and speculation, so do your own research. I did all the research I want to do on the matter. So basically it stems from John Kay, the creator of Ren and Stimpy. He made a slide against The Simpsons and saying something about the animation wasn't good and neither was the writing or something along those
All
lines.
right.
So that's what I know. The speculation is that this joke is in reference to the fact that John Kay was always late on delivering episodes of Ren and Stimpy, which led to his eventual firing and replacing him as the voice of the titular characters and all that sort of stuff. Ren and Stimpy has actually got a very interesting history that has now been marred even further because, it came out that John Kay was like grooming 15-year-old girls while the show was in its original production run. And
All right, well, focusing on it as a joke, I get that it's a bit of an industry insider jab, but it's always stuck out to me of, I don't get it.
yeah. And especially later or earlier in season 4 where they have Bart staying with the Big Brother program guy,
Yeah.
and they watch an episode of Ren and Stimpy and they do like a somewhat accurate parody of it. Like, this one does stick out as a bit weird.
Yeah, so I would change that because I get the writers probably had a good laugh at it, but me as an audience member, that's confused me for 28 years.
Yeah.
How old am I again? Yeah, that's probably close.
Yeah. Well, even then, it's not like the best jab. Ha ha ha, you don't deliver your work on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a jab at that one guy. It's
Yeah.
not like a jab at the whole show.
Yeah, especially compared to like the earlier Krusty dialogue where he's like, well, here we are, the star of the Blue Lagoon and me, the blue-haired goon. What?
That's terrible.
I got nothing to work with here. I'm gone.
First of all, my head is great. And I love it in this moment. Guest star for this episode, just one, and it was the amazing Brooke Shields. And I love in this moment how she's just like the consummate professional,
Yeah, just keeping that smile on while Krusty walks off stage and just rips off his girdle.
having his de-girdling diva moment. And Brooke Shields, she's just plowing on ahead. Anyway, so I thought she did a fantastic job, and the animation was really nice on her. She was so sparkly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was not like, how do they make that sparkle? That works.
Guys, I'm attracted to a cartoon. I've just realized. She sparkled good. But she did a great job in this episode. Musical moments. Yes, we had the singing of Fair Harvard before. Oh, and that's something I forgot to mention about the writing stuff is a lot of the writers in the episode were modeled off Simpsons writers.
I had a hunch, actually, yeah.
Yeah, you can see the guy with his gut hanging out, the big moustache. That is just totally John Swartzwelder. And the guy singing Fair Harvard was based on John Vitti, who, they were having a dig at for being a Harvard guy. Wonder how he felt about, because, we said when he gets the name thing thrown at him a second time, that was clearly all of that animation was reused.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have seen the script go from, okay, my doppelganger character gets a thing thrown at him. Oh, and in the revisit, he gets another one. Oh, great.
Okay, great.
I don't have many other musical moments listed for this episode. We have a brief appearance of Elvis.
That ain't no good.
I love it how that was the bit that wrote itself.
Yeah.
Bart goes, barbecue sauce, ants, and the rest just flows naturally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Naturally.
So Elvis is part of the Itchy and Scratchy universe.
Yes.
Still alive.
And shooting TVs.
Yeah.
Michael, do you have any other notes that you'd like to mention before we rank this thing?
Oh, I noticed the book that Lisa reads, How to Get Rich Writing Cartoons, it actually says it's by John Swartzwelder.
Yeah.
Nice.
How the
Yeah.
Schwarzwelder.
Swartzwelder.
Yeah.
Just good old Schwartzy.
Schwartz.
Yeah, I've heard Schwartz. I've heard Swartz. I think it's spelt Swartz, so
Yeah, be Schwartz. Schwartz.
Swartz.
How'd you take off your underwear without taking off your pants?
Yeah, let's talk about the wackiness. Yeah, I don't know how many times like I've riffed this bit with people, and I remember even back in the day, like going through pausing the animation on the VHS, like step by step.
How did he do it?
Like, how did they even animate that?
And now I know where Ben Stiller got it
Yeah, I
for
was about to
Zoolander.
say.
What from?
Pulls a Hansel.
Yeah.
What? Is it?
Zoolander.
Zoolander.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the walk-off.
I've only seen Zoolander 5 times. I know everyone else has seen it 50 times.
It's all Simpsons, no Zoolanders.
Any other notes?
When Marge and Homer are dancing at the high school reunion, there's a nice little throwback to their flashback episode where so like they do the hustle and they do it exactly the same as in the flashback episode.
And they do the little butt bump and everything. Yeah, it's really cute.
Yeah, and aside from the visual reference to that episode, I like just watching them have a good time.
Yeah, it's always nice to see.
Sweet, yeah.
Especially we don't get to see it very often.
Yeah, and usually when we see them in an episode alone, it's because they're having problems. But here it's nice to just see them have a good time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've got Abe got Lisa to call an escort service. I never remembered this joke.
This went over my head.
Yeah. I like that they said their insurance wouldn't cover you.
I just love how he's so like open about it. Like, hey, did you call the escort service, Lisa? Is that woman gonna come over and fuck me? And it's like,
she's not.
What?
Well, that's an onion in the ointment.
I kind of feel like he was legitimately just looking for someone to escort him to the awards.
Yeah.
That's kind of the innocence I got it. Yeah. Like his response was a little too, dang, not, oh, well, never mind what she does for a living, sweetie.
Yeah.
It would have been horrible. Can you imagine like Lisa on the phone and like the shit they'd be saying? Like, oh yeah, we can charge about 120 for this service. And it's like,
did you guys ever hear the old Martin Malloy bit where one of them called up as like a really, really old guy and they called up like a phone sex line?
Yeah. Well, it says in your ad here that we'll do anything for you. So I've got some hedges up back that need trimming.
And it says, we'll bend over backwards for you. And the girl's like, yes. He's like, well, I need you to get underneath the car because it's got a really...
And she completely buys it. It's like, oh, it's actually a little heartwarming. She's like, you've made my day.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a really good bit. It's surprising how much Martin Malloy comes up on the show.
She's just, we just talk, sweetie.
Yeah. Any other notes?
just that zoom in on Abe as he sees the Itchy and Scratchy cartoon,
the shock horror moment.
Yeah, the blurred background. Like I don't think I really recall seeing anything like that in those old school episodes. So that was a nice little change of style.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you got the double zoom thing going on where like the camera tracks in as the zoom is tracking out, so it's like moving the background and foreground away from each other. It's really cool device. And you don't see that in an animation. That's like a real filming technique.
Yeah, they use it occasionally, but definitely only rarely and to good effect.
Definitely. All right, BT, how about you? What are your final notes?
Well, put my name first. No, mine. Okay, well, one way to decide this, a race around the world. The Queen herself will drop the checkered flag.
And the rock, paper, scissors bit that follows.
Good old predictable Bart always picks rock. Good old rock. Nothing beats that. I love the optimism with which he says that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just always thought about that in rock, paper, scissors, and I think because of this, I avoid rock when I throw first.
Oh, wow. No, that's actually good because statistically men throw rock the most. So,
really?
Yep. I do have a book on the official rock, paper, scissors handbook. If you want to read it.
How big is
it's fascinating. Not too big like that.
But still, bigger than you'd think.
I'm holding my fingers maybe 2 centimeters apart, audience.
Other notes?
When I read your magazine, I don't see one withered face or wrinkled smile. For shame to the perverts at Modern Bride magazine.
Yep.
Well, this is a true or false question test. True. Homer, I'm just describing the test. True. Just do the test, you'll do fine. False.
Yep.
And just that escort bit I wanted to point out. The Simpsons just keeps on giving. Somehow.
Really does, because as much as I've rewatched episodes over the years, like there are some that I just haven't seen for a long while. And then those subtle sexy moments just right over your head, and then you start thinking the implications of Lisa calling a fucking escort line. All right, it's time for speedy final notes.
Didn't we have like a thing for like the it's ready for notes? But whatever I did, I can't remember what I did now.
And speed note time.
Notes.
They're coming for us.
Lisa. Notes.
I like that Bart and Lisa picked like really basic level names for themselves. I'm going to be Lois Sanborn.
Steve Bennett.
Just was a response to Homer getting the plunger stuck on his head.
They've both already thought about it, yeah.
Yeah. I love Grandpa's line as well when Myers approaches him. Oh, yeah, that was me. I wrote the Iggy.
Yep.
And he's like, wow, you're so old. Are you sure you're a writer? I want my check.
You're a writer.
I want another one. Homer has a weird rant about Happy Days in it, where he forgot what was real and what was Happy Days.
I kind of like that. Just how seriously he takes it as well. They weren't all happy days.
Yeah. He attributed his most weight gained award to finding a meal between breakfast and brunch.
Yep.
Yeah, the second itchy and scratchy gag where he gets stuck in the escalator. I thought that was actually a really clever turn where he's wearing his own fur as a fur wearer would wear fur.
Mm-hmm.
The other cartoons that they had in the award ceremony, Strongdar, which was like a He-Man stand-in.
The wedding episode.
Yeah. An action figure man.
The how to buy action figure man.
Mommy, I want it. So good. It's actually kind of weird how they drop into that like 50s looking animation for it. Like the characters looked like they were from the intro to Bewitched.
Well, it's very G.I. Joe, so.
Ah, that's what they were going for.
Yep.
Kids, cross my fingers for me.
Ooh, that'll be sore come winter.
And my final note, and I can't believe we actually managed to have this at the end when it takes place in the episode. Hens love roosters, geese love
ganders,
because everyone else loves Ned Flanders. I never noticed that the second line is, everyone who counts loves Ned Flanders.
How did you never notice that?
I just heard it as everyone else.
Oh.
And yeah, that is such a cute little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Always a favourite of mine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it is a Christian's idea of a sketch show. Yeah, it has to have something to do with church and it's got to be ultra wholesome.
Yep. Welcome to Hillsong TV.
Yeah, and so this bit actually inspired 22 short films. So doing this, they had a lot of fun with it. They loved sort of giving Ned Flanders his own theme song in this moment and giving him a little sketch. So yeah, from this until season 7 when they did 22 short films, they were always trying to figure out how to do more of these sketches in episodes, but of course all their episodes ran long, so they never had the time to do it.
Except that one time they put in Cletus the Slack-Jawed Yokel.
That was in 22 short films.
Well, shut up. How about you take a big pile of shut up?
And they also did it again in a HD episode where they did Everyone Hates Hans Moleman.
That was stupid as fuck, though.
It was such a bad revisiting. Have you seen that?
No.
It's so...
I don't think I want to.
No, it's not good.
No.
It's, yeah. Why did I leave it on the bad note? Always end on the good things.
I was going to say one thing that like really came out of nowhere as well in this episode was the dead wife joke about Dondelinger.
Oh, yeah.
That was really fucking dark. Like, Dondelinger says how like his wife passed away and he's doing the night classes to like get over that. And
I do like the follow-up of, is this going to be on the test? No. No, just
rubs out dead wife.
And it covers the whole fucking page.
Yeah. Oh, Homer, it's a wonder you passed. But it's no wonder you came to your...
He was trying so hard, he immediately started taking notes as soon as the teacher walked in. So.
That's true. It's
Gotta
showing...
respect it.
Yeah, respect and growth from Homer. All right, guys, for the last time tonight, it is time to rank something.
Something?
This thing particularly.
Oh.
BT kicks it off this time.
It's clearly me. Oh, man, I am split. I'm on a gold zirconia at this point because it is tightly funny and very efficient. And once again, I swear I picked up things I never picked up before, that escort service joke after all these years. In the downsides, however, you've kind of got a point on the B plot. Really could have used a bit more, and I'm kind of surprised in an episode that was running short, they didn't put a little bit extra in there. It is, however, just so very iconic, and I'm going to have a lot of trouble... Yeah, I'm going to give it the cubic zirconia.
Ooh.
I'm kind of surprised, but that's what my guts say. So I'm following the guts because I think there's just something about this that is just so iconic.
All right, cool. Michael, your turn.
Yeah, I'm going to go silver with this one because as much as I do love this episode, as I said, like the B plot is a bit, like it's a couple strokes away from like a perfect run. But I mean, there's there's a lot of good, funny jokes, but
It just has an overall aura for you of a silver.
yeah, silver. I mean, it's from it's from the golden era of The Simpsons. It is a funny episode, and everything kind of comes together quite nicely. You got the plunger joke from the start coming back at the end, and that. So it's really well written. Yeah, it's just a couple notches below perfect.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying gold, because it is a couple of notches below perfect, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think, my only real criticism is that B story and the whole sort of aura of the episode. It didn't make me come away from it thinking that it was an essential, but yeah, I've got to say it was excellent. I wouldn't go down so far as saying it was great, because I don't think it did enough wrong to get that low, for me personally anyway, but yeah, it's scraping just below the extra high notes for me.
I think for me it was, even though that B story could have used more, I really like what's there.
Yeah.
Like, I got the laughs out, and I appreciate it was there to be a laugh. B story, not a plot.
Well, locking that in, and this will average out into being a gold, so I'm right. And this will be joining another gold episode that got cubic gold silver ranking, which was Bart's girlfriend from season 6, the Jessica Lovejoy episode.
I believe I was cubic on that as well.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah. And other golds that it'll be joining is Deep Space Homer, Bart's Inner Child, where the Do What You Feel Festival, Bart on the Road with the Wad Fur, Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, the Thomas Edison episode, Lisa the Tree Hugger, where she meets the level 5 vegan that won't eat anything and casts a shadow, Dancing Homer, Itchy and Scratchy and Marge, another episode with the Iggy, and Principal Charming, where Seymour Skinner falls in love with Patty. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, yeah, that about does it for episode 84 of The Simpsons Index. Thank you for joining me in the Side Quest studios. Before we go, what have you been enjoying lately? Do you want to plug something for yourself or someone else? Start with you, Michael. What would you like to plug for the people out there today?
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed listening to me, you can check me out on the Oz Culture podcast. And we just recently released an episode talking about the Avengers Infinity War. We did a review on that.
Yeah.
And our next episode, we're going to be talking about Far Cry 5 and talking about A Quiet Place, one of the sleeper hits of the year.
Yeah, I really wanted to see that, and I think I've missed it. I'm pissed.
Yeah, oh, shit. Yeah, really I've actually got a double pass to go see that for free.
I got the weekend off. Let's.
Yeah.
It's a top film.
Oh,
yeah.
you guys, you've seen it already?
I haven't seen it. My mate Sam that does the review for that episode has, but I really do want to see it because I've heard a lot of great things about it.
You know, the most I heard about it was a thing on Twitter where all the people were like sharing their, oh god, I've picked a way too loud snack for this movie because it is intentionally shot super quiet, and one person was like, why did I have to buy the crispy M&Ms? Yeah, they should have a silent snack section for the dramas.
At least a warning.
Yeah. Yeah, so Oz Culture Podcast, check that out. BT, anything you'd like to plug?
Just been watching Broadchurch Season 3. That's going well so far.
Oh, yeah?
I also watched Murder on the Orient Express. I did not care for it.
Oh, really?
It's not...
That's like one of those like AFI top movies, isn't it?
No. Like the new version that came out like last year, I think.
Fuck, really? There's so many reboots lately that one got me by.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of hype because like it's one of those everybody is in this movie kind of things, and then it was okay-ish.
Yeah.
But, if you like Daisy Ridley, check it out. She's good in it.
All right, guys. And that about does it for episode 84 of The Simpsons Index. That's been Michael Pisciuneri.
Thank you for having me.
And that's been BT Calloway.
Is that a plunger on your head?
And I've been Homer Jason. Wait, no. I've been Elliot Jay O'Neill. And that's all the mustard in the house.
Most Improved Podcast Award.
Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. You can chat to us online at facebook.com/thesimpsonsindex or at Simpsons Index on Twitter. And now please stay tuned for the bonus scenes.
Can I get a little bit down, just a touch? Everyone's very loud and clear, which is good.
Down in your ear? How's there?
Yeah, there we go. There we are.
That's the sweetest spot.
Indeed.
Whoa. Oh, the sweetest spot. I love-hate that song.
Yeah.
I love-hate you too.
Yeah, man. Right back at you.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Elliot Jay O'Neill, now that he's making fun of himself.
Oh, great. Here's another one of them bloody podcasts.
Bloody podcast. Bunch of wankers sitting around thinking that people give a shit about what they say.
And we're back with our shitty opinions. I'm Elliot Jay Dork.
Hello, Dork. I'm Grandpa.
All right. Warming up. Getting animated. Animation.
Yep. Getting all revved up, riled up. Getting some...
Loosening the podcast muscles. Proper
La 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 la.
proper podcast
Pontification.
play. 5 fickle ferrets farting ferretly.
66th swizzle stick. The 66th swizzle stick.
Hafaffen Noiby Hafaffen.
7 sexy sisters sailing for sunken salvage.
Ooh. I'd watch that movie.
Damn straight.
Wait, isn't that Ocean's 8?
I mean, we're gonna,
7 sisters sailing like Ocean's 8, right?
we'll have to wait and see. It's not out yet.
Oh, it's the prequel because it's 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
8.
Like I said, it's going to go 11, 12, 13, 8. This is how we count in the modern age.
Well, yeah, I mean, Star Wars counting 4,
Yeah.
5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7.
8.
No, 7, Rogue One. There's a Rogue One in amongst there.
And now Han Solo.
8,
Yeah.
and then
And
Solo.
then back to 1 for a solo. 7, 1, 8, 1.
9.
And then Obi-Wan Kenobi will be the next spin-off movie. Either of you guys see Mario Shaved this week?
No, what's that?
This is worth a diversion.
It sounded like a bit naughty.
Yeah.
It's very naughty.
Mario Brazilian wax.
This isn't going to ruin Mario games.
Let's just say
is it?
that Peach doesn't have as much fuzz anymore. What? No.
Oh.
No, stop it.
They even took his eyebrows.
Stop it.
He's not Italian at all.
He's got alopecia or something. Looks a bit like Villager now.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go with something that I think was cut from our televised syncopation, which is when Lisa's right.
Syndication.
What did I say?
Syncopation.
All right, I said syncopation earlier. Now it's on my brain. Let me take that again. Oh, did I tell you? Kate Micucci got back to my reply.
What?
Her clowning name was Silly Jilly.
That is adorable.
I should have waited till you didn't have a mouthful of Pepsi.
I was just trying to squee and drink at the same time. Squee.
Yep.
Of course she was Silly Jilly.
Yep. You mentioned the wad fur,
Yeah.
and I had that Guns N' Roses bit that I wrote a while ago.
What's that?
Now, let me see if I can do a decent Axl Rose. Welcome to the wad fur. We got wigs for days. We got everything you want if you listen to AAA. We are the people that you find parked under the sun sphere. You can come to Knoxville even if it's the wrong year. In the wad fur. Welcome to the wad fur. Free Nadia. I don't know the rest.
No, wigs.
Wigs. You gonna buy some wigs?
Listen to Algar scream.
You are hearing me talk.